For section 6.1, we are going to simplify these 5 examples using the exponent rules that are listed at the beginning of your section. Make sure that you have the rules memorized. So what we want to do is simplify and write your final answer with positive exponents. For example A, when we divide and we have the same base, all we do is subtract our exponents. You write your base once, our base is 2, and we just subtract our exponents. 3 minus 6, which gives us 2 to the power of negative 3. Since my answer has a negative exponent, we use our negative exponent rule to rewrite our answer, and we write our answer as 1 over 2 to the third, and I know that 2 to the third is the same as 1 over 8. For example B, since I also have negative 25 divided by negative 5, we just divide those like we normally would. We get negative 5, and then of course, since I have the same base, x, I will subtract my exponents, numerator exponent minus denominator exponent, always in that order. This gives me negative 5x to the 5th. Since I have no negative exponents in my answer, then this would be my final answer. Example C is a little different because we have a negative exponent in the denominator. There's a couple of ways to start. We can just subtract our exponents like we've done before. Write the base once. You're going to write 5 minus a minus 3. Because the exponent is already negative and we have to subtract, it needs to be minus a minus 3, which in turn just gives me x to the exponent 5 plus 3, which gives me a final answer of x to the 8th. You can look at this problem this way, or let me show you another way to think about this. We can, let me rewrite the problem. What you could do in addition here is I can rewrite the original problem. Remember that if you have a term with a negative exponent in the denominator, if I rewrite this as x to the 5th times x to the 3rd, so you take x to the negative 3, move it up to the numerator, the exponent becomes positive, and then I use the rule where if we multiply, we add our exponents, we also get x to the 8th. So there are 2 ways to look at this problem. Both of them will be correct. Let's take a look at example D. Again, I can reduce 12 divided by negative 3 is negative 4. Use the subtraction rule, quotient rule. We have y to the power 5 minus 5. That gives me negative 4, y to the 0. Remember that if we have y to the 0, that's equivalent to 1, which tells me that I have negative 4 times 1, which is just negative 4. This was the 0 exponent rule. Last example, we are multiplying. And for multiplying problems of this form, all we do is we can multiply negative 5 and negative 4 together. Positive 20. Then we can look at x times x squared. I can add the exponents. X has an exponent of 1, so it's really going to be 1 plus 2, x cubed. Y has an exponent of 1. Okay, right here, be a little careful because we have a negative 3 exponent. So it's really 1 plus a negative 3, which gives us 20 x cubed y to the negative 2. Since my answer contains a negative exponent, I have to rewrite it so that my final answer has a positive exponent, which leaves me with 20x to the third over y squared. If you have a term with a negative exponent in the numerator, if we rewrite it so that we put the term in the denominator, the exponent will be positive. And we have our final answer.